Love Feels Better. By Albers. March 7, 2019. Hi dear friends. We all want to be loving, but sometimes life, or people's behaviors make it pretty tough. Enjoy this week's discussion on how to love, even when you don't like. Love you all. An message from the angels. My dear friends, we love you so very much. It is time upon your earth to resolve your love-hate relationships. You really love everyone. You really love everything. When we say you in this context, we mean your soul. You are nothing less than love. Herein lies a confusing point for most of the human race. Your soul loves it all, because your soul knows that everything, and everyone is the divine in disguise. However, you came to Earth with very distinct personalities, distinct preferences, and distinct likes, or dislikes. So, while your soul loves everyone, and everything, it is absolutely okay for you not to like everyone, and everything. This is a tough concept for most. You have been conditioned to think of love as a warm, fuzzy, good feeling. What most call love, however, is simply feeling good about something, or someone that made you, or still makes you, feel good. This is why you can fall in love with a job, or a person, and later fall out of love with it, him, her just as easily. You love the job, person, while it, he, she makes you feel good, and when they don't, when they trigger feelings of your own internal pain, or unworthiness, you don't love it, him, her. This can happen quickly, or in many cases, over the course of years, only after you've tried everything in your power to get back to the original good feelings. We reassure you, however, that ultimately your right to feel good exists within you, and only within you. No one else has the authority to make you feel good, or bad. They can make it easy, or difficult for you to feel good, or bad, of course, but ultimately you are in charge of your thoughts, and your thoughts give you feelings. It is a kindness to yourself to practice choosing thoughts that feel more like love. If someone steps on your toe, you can say, "Ow! You clumsy oaf! Weren't you looking? You hurt me." Or you can say, "Ow! I love you, but oh my goodness, please be more careful next time." One thought feels bad. One feels good. Your toe already stings. You may as well choose a loving thought that allows it to heal more quickly. If a person you love betrays you, you can say, "Ow! You liar! You cheat! You hypocrite! I hate you! How could you? You hurt me." Or you can say, "I truly love your soul, and I know you must be terribly hurt, and insecure to betray me. I wish you would have felt comfortable having a deep conversation with me, and owning your choices before you resorted to this. It must be awful to be so terrified of conflict that you had to go behind my back, and undermine your own integrity. I wish you had had more courage, but I know you were doing your best. However, I love, and respect myself, and this isn't behavior I want in my life. Either resolve this with me, or go your way in peace." One train of thoughts feels horrible. One feels loving, and peaceful, albeit sad. The way to love even when you don't like is to realize that each soul is on a journey of discovering their light and truth, just as you are. Each soul has their own wounds, their own challenges, and their own blind spots. Each soul is doing the best they can in any given moment. Acknowledge the love and light trying to emerge within all souls, but be honest with yourself about whether or not you like them. Respect everyone's journey, and their right to grow as they please. As well, respect your own journey, and right to grow as you please. Allow others to live as they choose. Grant yourself the right to live as you choose. If each of you were to remain lovingly in integrity with your own spirit, you would all sort yourself out into communities of like mind. Making a choice to love involves spiritual maturity. You have to give up wishing that people would be who you want them to be. You have to give up being angry with others for not being whom you want. You must choose to honor the light within yourself, even when you are not being who you wish you could be. As you go through life, say to yourself, others are who they are. Life is as it is. I am who I am. What next? What is the most self-loving thing I can do, given the circumstances right now? Can I focus on the light within another, and dialogue kindly, or walk away, if the interaction doesn't resonate? It is far easier to love when life makes it easy. Nonetheless, if you can love the light within another, even when you don't like their personality, or behavior, you will set yourself free. You already do this in many ways. You can love a child who is misbehaving, even when you don't like their behavior, because you see who they really are. You can love your dog, or cat, even when they make a mess, because you know the purity of love that lives within them. You can love a fixer-upper house, because you see the light and beauty within waiting to emerge. What if all those human beings you don't feel terribly loving about are simply ones you love who are misbehaving, making messes, and fixer-uppers that you just don't feel like tackling? Can you focus on the truth within them, and love that? Even if you don't like, even if you must set a healthy boundary, even if you must walk away and pray? This takes practice, and a willingness to change old habitual patterns of thought, but if you are willing, you will unburden your soul, set yourself free, and allow yourself to have a blissful, loving experience of life. No matter what the rest of the world is doing. God bless you. We love you so very much. The Angels. Message from Anne. Hi everyone. My journey into self-love has been a long one. I thought I loved myself when I had a husband, a nice home, and a great job in my 20s. When I realized who I truly was, and what I was called to do, my life fell apart, and I found out how desperately I had needed the external validation. I spent my 30s learning to truly love myself by getting in relationships that reflected all the areas where I did not. I spent my 40s learning to love a different aspect of self, the divine within. I am now in my 50s learning to love self as all, the divine within everyone, and everything. It has been quite a journey. Last year one went for my annual blessing from Amma Karunamayi. She is known in India as an incarnation of the Divine Mother, and a living saint. Her blessings are extremely powerful. At the time, there was a person in my life I loved very much. Instead of asking for a blessing for his soul to be the one, I simply asked Amma for a blessing to help me have the most loving relationship possible. I already knew he didn't feel the same about me, so I was hoping our friendship would deepen into one as beautiful as many of the other friendships in my life. I was using him as a template for manifesting love at the time, knowing full well the universe delivers the essence of what we wish for, if not the form. Instead, within months, I found out that he had judged, ridiculed, and said unkind things about me behind my back. My reaction was an overwhelming sense of compassion. I saw how he was simply trying to be loved in his life in a different way, by making me wrong, and using that to look better in the eyes of another. I saw how others involved had gossiped, and told him incomplete versions of conversations to make themselves look better. I knew they too just wanted to feel special, and loved. The angels showed me how all of us, me included, had ended up at this moment in time. I uttered a prayer for all involved. Suddenly I felt a surge of freedom unlike anything I've ever known. I was finally free from old habitual reactions of anger. I was free to be me, free to choose love. I was free to feel good about myself inside no matter what those external to me were doing, or saying. Talk about bliss. I didn't even feel a need for forgiveness. Everyone involved was simply doing the best they could. The light in that blessing was showing me that walking away with love and compassion was the most loving relationship possible at the time. The wishful thinking and the facades were ripped away, and I had to deal with reality. I had to look at areas where I had compromised on my own self-respect. I had to look at where I had ignored warning signs. I accepted my growth, and found I could truly love the light within this soul, and others involved, even when the behaviors were totally unacceptable. I let go, went back to my bliss, and had one of the most amazingly joyful years ever. It continues. Furthermore, I got my manifestation. I found the one again. The love of my life is the presence within my own beating heart. I've known that before. I've felt it for periods of time, but not like this deliciousness. I am luxuriating in the expanded feelings of oneness in silent communion, and time in nature, and in this space, I cannot do anything but love the light within all. It is not easy to love when you don't like someone's views, personality, or behaviors. It is even harder when a soul you've loved becomes hurtful, or unkind. However, the angels are right. We're all doing our best no matter how wonderful, or feeble, it is at the time. And loving, acknowledging the light within, even if not the warm, fuzzy feeling of like, always feels amazing. Here are some pointers to love even when you don't like. 1. Be honest about your feelings. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is there anyone in my life with whom I do not feel resolved inside of myself? Trust the first answer. If no one comes to mind, celebrate. Perhaps right now you really are complete with everyone in your life, and your past. If you do find someone, ask yourself, how do I feel about this individual? Hurt? Angry? Disgusted? Be honest. We can't deal if we don't feel. We can't be free if we're unwilling to see. 2. Examine the mirror. This step takes courage. It takes admitting that everyone we love is a soul involved in a dance of growth with us. It takes a soulful perspective to say whatever upset us in someone else is pointing to an area where we are upset within ourselves. If someone betrayed you, first say, I'm upset, sad, because so-and-so betrayed me. Then say, I'm upset, because I betrayed myself. I want to be impeccably honest with myself. I want to honor my intuition. Perhaps you ignored subtle feelings, red flags, and small discontents. We often know, see, or feel more than we are willing to admit. Perhaps you put up with bad behavior far longer than you wish you had. It is okay. You did your best at the time. Now you know better. If someone is unkind, or abusive, first say I'm upset, sad, because this person is abusive. Then say, I'm upset, because I'm allowing their abusive behavior now, or in the past to control me. I want my power back. I want my joy back. Sometimes it requires help, therapy, or reprogramming technologies to release upsetting thoughts we've had for a long time. Do what it takes. Get help. Honor the fact that your soul wants you to be the only one in charge of your own mind. If someone is intolerable for any of a variety of reasons, first say, I'm upset, sad, because so-and-so is intolerable to me. Then say, I'm upset, because I want to practice compassion, tolerance, and kindness, but they are making it really hard for me to feel that way. I know, it is easier when people are nice, but I want to take back my power, and stand strong in my light. Keep at it. Take care of your own well-being. Ultimately you will prove to yourself you can have compassion, while also take care of yourself. We really want to love. We really want to be in charge of our own minds. Sometimes people make that difficult, but we get to choose if we embrace the growth or not. By owning our upset, realizing it is, at the deepest levels, an upset with ourselves, we reclaim our power. 3. Take loving action. For yourself. At some point you have to deal with reality. Given the fact that another is acting a way you don't like, what are you going to do about it to honor your own spirit? Sometimes you can walk away from bad behavior. Sometimes you can lovingly speak up. Sometimes you set a firm boundary. Sometimes you need assistance in finding a path that honors both souls involved. Sometimes you can remain silent and refuse to dignify any energies that don't resonate. Sometimes you can turn off the TV. Sometimes you just have to pray for ideas. There is always the next loving step to honor your own bright spirit, while being respectful of another's life and choices. Your angels will help you find it, if you ask and pray. This journey into deeper love has not been easy at times. As an arise pieces, I feel everything deeply, and tend to react strongly. I still won't claim I'm perfect at it. However, the more I practice loving the light within me, and others, no matter what, the more free, blissful, and flowing life becomes. I hope this helps you do the same. Love you all. And please